Build according to Roman traditions.
Imagine stepping into worlds so massive and alive you can lose yourself for hours and still discover something new. From stunning landscapes to next-gen survival adventures, these are the 22 most exciting upcoming open-world games you won't want to miss.
But that's just my story.
Step into the dark neon glow of Berlin's future with Neo Berlin 2087, a cyberpunk action RPG that dares to mix shooting, detective work, and psychological twists. Behind the story is Nolan, a hard-edged detective voiced by Elias Toufexis, the same voice that once brought Adam Jensen to life. Here, the city is split in two, soaring high-tech towers dripping with luxury, and slums where survival is the only law. Between these worlds, Nolan moves like a shadow, using mind-hacking abilities to unravel hidden memories and expose dangerous truths. Combat swings between gritty third-person firefights, immersive first-person shootouts, and stylish slow-motion encounters against enemies with a zombie-like hunger. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the game paints a vision straight out of Blade Runner, where every rain-slicked alley hides secrets.
Nolan, what have you done?
AquaTree's Architect Land of Exiles, published by Hybe IM, is not just an MMORPG, it's a sweeping vision of survival and discovery in a world reshaped by disaster. Born from the chaos of an event called the Deluge, humanity is left stranded in the devastated lands, sealed away and filled with secrets. The heart of this world is the enigmatic Tower of Giants, a mystery drawing explorers deeper into the unknown. Movement itself is a marvel here. Players can glide across open skies, scale jagged cliffs, dive beneath rushing waters, and embrace freedom in every direction. Combat is raw, manual, and fast. Forget auto-targeting. This is all about agility, precision, and real-time control. From the mischievous minds behind Untitled Goose Game comes something completely different. Big Walk, a cooperative adventure about exploration, friendship, and the joy of wandering. Set against the sprawling landscapes of the Australian bush, it's a game where communication isn't about text or voice. It's about improvisation. Players will mime, sing, signal with flares, shout through megaphones, and even invent code puzzles to stay connected. Every step is an invitation to create your own story, whether it's standing silently together as the sun sinks behind the hills, breaking into an impromptu dance party, or laughing as someone's binoculars get kicked into the sea. House calls it a walker talker, a space for unscripted adventures where the only goal is to experience the journey together.
Don't worry. You'll find plenty of ways to stay in touch and find each other again.
This building behind me has a challenge in it. There's a bit of platforming in there, some sports, and some weirder stuff too.
Stop.
Our challenges
Your plans and find yourselves doing something else entirely.
You can sit and watch the sunset. You could steal your friend's binoculars and kick them into the ocean.
Imagine a world where medieval history becomes your sandbox. Chronicles, Medieval is that vision, an ambitious blend of strategy, combat, and storytelling. Developed by Raw Power Games and built with Unreal Engine 5, this is a sprawling reimagining of Europe during the Middle Ages. The tools are in your hands. Command armies, build kingdoms, forge alliances, or wage war in a living world shaped by your decisions. What makes it stand apart is its devotion to craft. Originally teased with generative AI, the team shifted course, confirming that every asset, every detail is handcrafted with care. It's a world built by humans, for humans. The studio is also opening doors to its community from day one, with full modding support. Expect not just new missions, but wild creations, like hundreds of Thomas the Tank engines facing off against Master Chief.
But that's just my story. write your own.
The twisted brilliance of Atomic Heart is returning bigger, bolder, and stranger with Atomic Heart 2. Officially announced at Summer Game Fest 2025, this sequel takes players far beyond the confines of Facility 3826 into a vast, surreal world. Picture flying cities, colossal moonbound transports shaped like space whales, and a sprawling scientific landscape known as Polygon Science. Once again, you'll step into the shoes of Major Nechayev, or P3, but the stakes are higher. This time, it's not just about one facility collapsing, it's about the fate of the world. Expect the same intoxicating mix of first-person shooting and RPG mechanics, but with deeper systems, dual-wield glove powers, expanded weapon variety, and countless side activities scattered across this bizarre playground. Unveiled in August 2025, WOOCHI the WAYFARER invites players into a magical reimagining of Korea's Joseon era, where folklore and history intertwine. Developed by Lore Vault Studio and published by Nexon Games, this single-player action adventure is built in Unreal Engine 5 and inspired by the tale of John WOOCHI. You take on the role of WOOCHI, a dosa, part mage, part trickster, who wields cunning, justice, and mystic power. The world itself is a living tapestry of Korean culture, blending authentic landscapes with mythical beings like Dokeebi and Gumiho. Developers worked closely with historians, writers, and musicians, even traveling to heritage sites to ensure authenticity in every detail. Mundfish is taking its Atomic Heart universe in a wild new direction with The Cube, an MMO shooter RPG revealed at Summer Game Fest 2025. Imagine a colossal rotating Rubik's Cube floating in space, each face shifting into new biomes, challenges, and enemies. This is your battlefield. Alive, ever-changing, and dangerous. Powered by an advanced split rendering engine, the game handles thousands of moving parts at once, shifting gravity, bending landscapes, and making exploration as treacherous as combat itself. Within this surreal labyrinth, players embark on expeditions, solo or in co-op, facing bosses, completing quests, and crafting modular weapons through a unique punch card system. Progression works like an RPG, with deep customization and strategic combat layered on top of the madness. Where Winds Meet arrives November 14th, 2025, bringing with it a sweeping open-world wuxia adventure set in 10th century China. Created by Everstone Studio and NetEase, it blends martial arts mastery with a world rich in history and myth. The scale is breathtaking, over 20 unique regions covering 20 square kilometers, and around 10,000 NPCs who live, breathe, and react dynamically to your choices. As a young swordmaster, your path is your own. Become a hero revered across the land, or an outlaw feared by all. Combat is fluid and versatile, letting you wield swords, spears, fans, even umbrellas, while mastering over 40 mystic arts like Tai Chi and Lion's Roar. Exploration is equally exhilarating, with parkour, wind-assisted leaps, and countless world interactions that blur the line between reality and fantasy.
When the world falls silent.
CD Projekt Red is turning the page on a new saga with The Witcher 4, also known as The Witcher 4, now in full production with Unreal Engine 5. The studio revealed a striking tech demo at State of Unreal 2025, showcasing Ciri in motion through the lush, rugged lands of Kavir. A glimpse of what's to come. For the first time, Ciri steps into the spotlight as the main protagonist, carrying the legacy of Geralt while forging a bold new path in a post-Geralt world. Fans won't be seeing it soon though. The developers have confirmed no release before the end of 2026, with 2027 as the most realistic target. But the wait promises to be worth it. A handcrafted world powered by cutting-edge tech, layered with choices, morality, and the haunting beauty that defines the Witcher universe. This is not just another chapter. It's the rebirth of a saga, led by a heroine who embodies both power and destiny.
It's tradition! Oh no, no, no! It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go to
Lightspeed LA's debut AAA title, Last Sentinel, drops players into a dystopian Tokyo rebuilt from the ashes of chaos. This open-world narrative-driven action game casts you as Hiromi Shota, an elite operative walking the thin line between order and oppression in a fractured future. What makes this project so intriguing is the pedigree behind it. Veterans who once shaped Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption are now crafting their own vision of a cyberpunk-infused Tokyo. The city pulses with neon and steel, but under its surface lies a struggle for control, freedom, and survival. The narrative promises weight and consequence, pushing players into choices that ripple across the city's fragile balance. While the release hasn't been locked in, 2026 is the likely window, making Last Sentinel one of the most closely watched new IPs in the industry. Announced during Gamescom 2025, Project Spectrum is an ambitious asymmetric PvPvE tactical shooter from Team Jade, the creators of Delta Force. It plunges players into strange and terrifying zones known as Ember Zones, distorted regions twisted by a mysterious force called the Ember. Here, nothing is certain. You command a squad of elite agents, fighting not only hostile creatures and rival operators, but also the slow unraveling of your own sanity. Every mission demands improvisation, using the environment, crafting tools on the fly, and keeping your team together under pressure. The tension spikes when the game's most unique mechanic comes into play. Sometimes you may become the Executioner, a powerful monster controlled by another player, turning hunter into prey in an instant.
Anyone breathing? Come in.
Once known as Gujian 4, Swords of Legends marks a bold evolution for the beloved Chinese RPG series, now stepping onto the global stage as a standalone action RPG. Developed by Oregon Shanghai and revealed at Gamescom 2025, it's the first time the franchise will launch simultaneously worldwide. At its heart is Sipan, an underworld enforcer whose duty is to guide restless souls into peace, bridging the gap between the living and the dead. The story draws deeply from Chinese mythology, wrapping every mission in the beauty and tragedy of spirits who refuse to move on. Built with Unreal Engine 5, the game offers a wide linear design, less open-ended than sprawling sandboxes, but expansive enough to feel alive with discovery. Combat is smooth, fast, and accessible rather than brutally punishing. Unique mechanics add depth, such as capturing souls to summon allies, forging strategic loadouts, and wielding divine artifacts to bend battles in your favor.
If you know not life, how can you know death?
On November 5th, 2025, the game bakers will release Cairn, a survival climbing simulation that strips away the safety nets and asks, Do you have what it takes to conquer the unconquered? You step into the boots of Ava, a determined mountaineer attempting to summit Mount Kami, a peak no human has ever scaled. The design is stark and unrelenting. No user interface clutter, no hand-holding. Every climb relies on precise limb placement, stamina management, hunger, thirst, and the fragile condition of your gear. Every mistake could mean the end. A playable demo has already captured over 500,000 players, proving just how gripping the experience can be. Beyond story mode, Cairn offers an expedition mode, letting you choose between Ava or Marco, and even challenge yourself with free solo climbs. No ropes, no companions, just you against the mountain. Dropping on September 4th, 2025, Hell Is Us is a third-person action adventure that blends supernatural mystery with grounded, old-school exploration design. Inspired by classic Zelda philosophy, it rejects modern conveniences. There are no minimaps, no quest logs, no glowing markers. Instead, players must rely on instinct, environmental cues, and conversations with NPCs to find their way. You play as Raimi, a former UN peacekeeper who turns rogue in search of his missing parents. His journey takes him into Hadia, a war-torn country plunged into chaos by a disaster known as the Calamity. Here, supernatural beings called Hollowwalkers haunt the ruins, and combat against them is tense and punishing. Battles revolve around melee weapons, swords, axes, polearms, alongside a drone that can distract foes.
Interesting. Let's continue.
From the studio that stunned the world with Black Myth, Wukong comes an entirely new legend, Black Myth Zhong. Announced during Gamescom 2025, this project is still in its earliest days, described by the developers as little more than an empty folder. Yet, the ambition is clear. Centered on the legendary ghost-hunting deity Zhong, the game aims to bring another mythological icon to life, with the same cinematic intensity and cultural depth that made Wukong unforgettable. Platforms have already been confirmed, PC and all major consoles, but details on story and gameplay remain under wraps. What the studio has promised is a fresh experience that honors the tone of Wukong while surprising fans with a new kind of mythological adventure. The legacy of ArcheAge is ready to continue with ArcheAge Chronicles, the next chapter from XL Games and legendary creator Jake Zhong. Originally aimed for 2025, the release has been officially delayed to 2026, giving the developers more time to shape a worthy successor. Running on Unreal Engine 5, the game promises breathtaking visuals and seamless exploration across land and sea. It reimagines the beloved systems of the original: real-time action combat, vast open-world adventuring, dynamic PvP and PvE battles, naval warfare, a player-driven economy, and epic guild conflicts. Every staple of ArcheAge returns, but with modern reinvention and next-gen polish. A closed beta is planned for late 2025, giving select players the first chance to dive into this ambitious world.
Perhaps you might become one of us.
Of Peaks and Tides is an indie gem with grand ambitions, an open-world survival sandbox built in Unreal Engine 5 and steeped in Eastern mythology. Developed by Cyancook Games, it invites players into a reactive, living world where the environment is both ally and enemy. Seasons shift, disasters strike, and every piece of nature can be used, whether as a resource, a weapon, or a path forward. You play as one of the Nolans, survivors tasked with taming calamities, rebuilding tribes, and bending nature's power to your will. The game emphasizes physics-driven creativity. Every choice, every action, sparks emergent storytelling unique to you. Alongside your companion L, you'll tame massive winged beasts, battle colossal creatures in ARPG-style combat, and carve a future in a broken world. The Darkness returns in Lords of the Fallen 2, announced at Gamescom 2025's opening night live and scheduled for 2026. Set a century after the 2023 reboot, this sequel pushes the stakes higher, plunging players once again into a world consumed by umbral corruption. Combat has been rebuilt to be faster, sharper, and deadlier, demanding precision in dodges, counters, and executions. At the core of the game lies its chilling dual-realm system, the mortal world and the haunting umbral realm accessible through the umbral lamp. Crossing between them transforms not only exploration, but also combat, with danger intensifying the deeper you descend. Multiplayer is confirmed as a core pillar, with co-op and PvP expanding the brutal experience. On PC, the game is shaping up as an Epic Games Store exclusive, sparking heated debate among fans.
Force with you.
The Anno series returns to its historical roots with Anno 117, Pax Romana, launching November 13th, 2025. This time, players are transported to the height of the Roman Empire, where the fate of provinces lies in their hands. You can choose to rule the heart of Rome in Latium, or guide Albion, the Celtic province, shaping its destiny through loyalty or rebellion. The city-building mechanics have been elevated. New diagonal placement tools, influence zones, and modular systems give you greater control than ever before. Ships can now be built piece by piece. Citizen needs can be toggled for depth or accessibility. Research trees expand your empire's technology, and faith becomes a flexible system, allowing players to guide worship and culture. The structure of the game welcomes new players with modular province design, while still delivering the complexity and strategy longtime fans demand.
Build according to Roman traditions. Embrace new lands. How your legacy will be remembered is build a strong military.
On September 19th, 2025, Dying Light the Beast arrives with a roar, transforming what began as a DLC for Dying Light 2 into a full-fledged sequel. Kyle Crane returns, not as the same man we once knew, but as something more, and something far more dangerous. After years of captivity and brutal experiments with zombie DNA, Crane is driven by revenge, and his fury manifests in Beast Mode, a terrifying ability that grants him monstrous strength and savage melee powers. The survival horror tone is sharper, darker, and more relentless, enhanced with deeper environmental interaction, dynamic weather, richer visuals, and improved gunplay. Vehicles return, expanding exploration, while co-op for up to 4 players makes the chaos shared.